You may be taking turmeric every single day. You sprinkle it into your food. You swallow the capsules. You tell yourself, at least I'm doing something right. And yet you wake up, swing your legs off the bed, and that familiar stiffness greets you again. Your knees feel tight. Your fingers don't want to bend. Your body feels inflamed, heavy, older than it used to. And somewhere inside, a quiet thought whispers, why isn't this working? You've been told turmeric is the gold standard, the strongest anti-inflammatory, the answer everyone over 60 is supposed to rely on. But here's the uncomfortable truth you're starting to sense. Turmeric may not be your real problem. You're doing all the right things. Your friend says when you mention your joint pain, turmeric is amazing for inflammation. You nod. You want to believe that. Because if turmeric doesn't work, then what does? The myth you've been living with is simple and widespread. If inflammation hurts, just add an anti-inflammatory spice. But inflammation after 60 doesn't work that way anymore. It's not about seasoning your food. It's about how inflammation actually begins inside your body now. Think of inflammation like a fire alarm system in your house. When you were younger, the alarm only went off when there was real danger, smoke, heat, and actual fire. But now, the system is overly sensitive. A piece of toast burns slightly. A candle flickers. The alarm screams again. Turmeric, in this picture, turns down the volume of the alarm. It makes the noise softer. But it doesn't always put out the fire, so you feel slightly better, but never truly relieved. The stiffness lingers. The soreness returns. The inflammation never fully leaves. And you start wondering if this is just what aging feels like. Your doctor might shrug and say, well, inflammation increases with age. You hear that word, age, and it lands heavy. You think, so this is it. This is my new normal. What's really happening inside your body is more complex and more hopeful than that. As you age, your immune system changes. It doesn't slow down. It actually becomes overprotective. Imagine a security guard who's been on duty too long. He's tired. He's jumpy. He starts seeing threats where none exist. Your immune system begins releasing inflammatory chemicals even when there's no emergency, no injury, no infection, no real danger. Just signals firing constantly. Those signals travel to your joints, making them ache. They tighten your muscles, making movement feel harder. They irritate your blood vessels, slowing circulation. They drain your energy, leaving you tired even after rest. You're not alone in this. You'd tell someone else if they were sitting across from you. But when it's your body, it feels personal. It feels like betrayal. You might even hear your own inner voice say, maybe I didn't take care of myself enough. That voice is wrong, but it's loud. Here's where the story shifts. Because the problem isn't that you're not fighting inflammation hard enough. The problem is that you've been fighting it at the wrong level. This is where raw garlic enters the picture. A food you've probably overlooked, avoided, or used without thinking. Garlic, you might say out loud right now. That's it, yes, but not in the way you've been using it. Garlic doesn't just muffle inflammation like turmeric often does. It goes deeper. Inside your body, there's a master switch that controls inflammatory signals, a kind of command center. One of the biggest is called NF-κB. You don't need to remember that name. Just know this, when that switch stays on, inflammation keeps spreading, even when it shouldn't. Garlic helps switch it off. Not by force, not by suppression, but by signaling your immune system to calm down. Research shows that compounds in garlic, especially allicin, reduce inflammatory messengers more effectively than many popular plant antioxidants. That's not hype. That's biology. And when that signal quiets down, something important happens. Your joints stop feeling under attack. Your muscles relax instead of guarding. Blood flows more freely. Your immune system remembers how to stand down. The benefits ripple outward. Less stiffness, better circulation, more balance in how your body responds. But here's the part most people miss, and where many go wrong. They think, if turmeric didn't work, I just need more of it. More capsules, higher doses, stronger formulas. Or they ignore foods that work upstream, at the source of inflammation, instead of at the surface. So for now, don't change anything yet. Just notice. Notice how often you reach for turmeric. Notice whether it's actually changing how you feel, not just how disciplined you feel taking it. Because now comes the question that changes everything. If inflammation after 60 isn't about wear and tear, if it's about immune confusion, why does it behave so differently now? And why does garlic work when turmeric stalls? That's where we're going next. And once you see what's really happening inside your body, you'll never look at inflammation the same way again. If inflammation used to come and go, but now feels like it never really leaves, you're not imagining it. You remember a time when a sore knee meant you overdid it. A stiff back meant you slept wrong. A day or two later, things eased up. Now, you wake up stiff, you move slowly, and even on good days, something still aches in the background. You might say it out loud one morning, half joking, half worried. Why does my body always feel inflamed now? The most common explanation you hear is simple. It's just wear and tear, someone says. Years of use catching up with you. And for a while, that explanation makes sense. You nod. You accept it. Because what's the alternative? But here's the truth that rarely gets explained to you. Chronic inflammation after 60 isn't mostly about damage. It's about confusion. Your immune system, the part of you meant to protect you, starts sending the wrong signals. Imagine your immune system like a guard dog. When you were younger, it was calm. It only barked when someone truly dangerous came near. A virus, bark, an injury, bark. But now that dog is older, tired, on edge. A leaf blows across the yard, bark. A friendly neighbor walks by, bark. Nothing is actually wrong, but the alarm keeps sounding. That's what chronic inflammation feels like in your body. Inside you, aging immune cells begin releasing low-grade inflammatory chemicals all the time. Not because you're injured, not because you're sick, just because the system no longer knows when to stand down. Doctors even have a name for this, inflammaging. It's a slow, constant inflammatory state linked to aging. And it doesn't just affect one part of you. It settles into your joints, making them stiff and swollen. It tightens your muscles, making movement feel harder than it should. It irritates nerves, increasing sensitivity and discomfort. It interferes with digestion, leaving you bloated or uneasy. It even reaches your brain, contributing to fatigue and fog. You might hear yourself thinking, "Why do I feel tired even when I haven't done much?" That's not weakness. That's inflammation talking. Someone close to you might notice before you do. "You're moving slower lately," they say gently. You brush it off. "I'm fine, just getting older." But inside, a quiet fear stirs. What if this keeps getting worse? Here's where garlic becomes more than just a food. Because garlic doesn't fight inflammation the way painkillers or supplements do. It doesn't silence symptoms. It retrains the immune response. Garlic works by re-educating those overactive immune cells, reminding them when to react and when to rest. Its sulfur compounds are small enough to penetrate cell membranes. They slip inside and interrupt inflammatory messengers before they spread damage. It's like teaching that guard dog to recognize the difference between a threat and a visitor again. Research shows garlic lowers CRP and TNF-alpha, two major markers of chronic inflammation in older adults. Those aren't abstract numbers. They're signals tied directly to joint stiffness, heart strain, and slower recovery. And when those signals calm down, you start to feel the difference in real ways. Your joints don't feel as locked up in the morning. Your body recovers better after walking or chores. Your circulation improves, supporting your heart and arteries. Movement feels less punishing, more possible. But here's the key detail most people miss. Inflammation speaks through timing. If you wake up stiff, if mornings are worse than evenings, if it takes time just to feel, lose enough, to move, that's a clue your immune system is overreacting, not that your joints are worn out. Yet many people still make two critical mistakes. First, they treat inflammation like pain. They chase relief instead of understanding the signal. Second, they rely only on supplements, pills disconnected from food, instead of natural signals the body recognizes. You might even think, "I'll just take a garlic capsule. Problem solved." But here's where things often go wrong. Garlic is powerful, but fragile. Use it the wrong way, and the very compound you need disappears. Most people cook it too fast, or take odorless supplements that lack active allicin. They unknowingly neutralize the benefit before it ever reaches their bloodstream. And that's the mistake keeping many people stuck, because garlic can help calm chronic inflammation, but only if it's prepared the right way. So before you change anything, before you add another supplement or spice, there's one simple rule you need to know. And once you learn it, you'll understand why garlic sometimes works miracles, and why, for so many people, it does nothing at all. Let me show you the right way. Garlic can be incredibly powerful, or almost useless, depending on one small step. And the hard part is this: you can be doing everything right, eating healthy, cooking at home, avoiding junk, and still miss this one detail that changes everything. You've probably used garlic your whole life. You chop it, you toss it into hot oil, you stir, you move on, and you assume garlic is garlic. That's the myth. All garlic works the same, people say casually. Your inner voice might even argue back. It's natural. How wrong can I be? But here's the truth you were never taught. How you prepare garlic determines whether it heals your body or does almost nothing. Think of garlic like a matchstick. A match has everything it needs to create fire. But unless you strike it the right way, nothing happens. Garlic works the same way. Inside that clove is a powerful compound your body needs. But it's locked away. If you activate it properly, it ignites healing. If you don't, it stays cold. You might remember standing in your kitchen one evening, joints aching, tired from the day. You chop garlic quickly, drop it straight into sizzling oil. It smells good, it tastes good. But something important is already lost. Here's what's happening inside your body, and inside that clove. Garlic contains a compound called allicin. On its own, it's harmless. But when you crush or chop garlic, allicin meets an enzyme called alliinase. That meeting creates allicin, the compound responsible for garlic's powerful anti-inflammatory effects. Allicin is the real hero here. It's what helps shut down those overactive inflammatory signals you learned about earlier. It's what helps calm immune confusion. It's what supports better circulation and joint comfort. But allicin is delicate. Heat destroys it quickly. So when garlic goes straight from the knife into hot oil, allicin barely has time to form before it's gone. You might hear a doctor or nutritionist say, "Garlic is good for you," without ever explaining how to actually get the benefit. No wonder so many people feel disappointed. This garlic thing didn't work for me. You might think, I tried it. But the truth is, your body never got the signal. The solution is surprisingly simple. And once you hear it, you'll wonder why no one told you sooner. You crush the garlic, and then you wait. 10 minutes. That's it. When you crush raw garlic and let it sit for about 10 minutes, allicin fully forms and stabilizes. It becomes strong enough to survive digestion and even gentle heat. That waiting time is like striking the match correctly. Food chemistry research confirms this. Resting garlic significantly increases allicin bioavailability, meaning more of it actually reaches your bloodstream, where it can do its job. And when it does, you feel the difference. Inflammation begins to quiet faster. Your joints feel less reactive. Your circulation improves. Hands and feet feel warmer. Your immune system finds balance instead of overreaction. You might even notice something subtle first. One morning you get out of bed and the stiffness eases sooner than usual. Not gone, but different. And that difference matters. Now, this doesn't mean you have to eat raw garlic straight and suffer through it. You have options. You can add crushed, rested garlic to salads. You can mix it into yogurt or soft dips. You can add it to warm foods after cooking, not while the pan is blazing hot. Warm is fine, hot is not. And here's where many people still slip. They throw garlic straight into hot oil, destroying allicin instantly. Or they rely on odorless garlic supplements, which often contain little to no active allicin at all. You might remember thinking, at least the supplement is easier. But ease doesn't always equal effectiveness. Your body recognizes food-based signals better than isolated pills. Especially now. This isn't about perfection. It's about intention. You don't need massive amounts. You don't need complicated recipes. You just need to give garlic the moment it needs to activate. And once you do, something shifts. You're no longer just eating healthy. You're communicating with your immune system in a language it understands. You might find yourself thinking, so this is why it never worked before. Not because your body failed, but because the message never got through. And now that you know this rule, everything starts to connect. Inflammation after 60 isn't random. It isn't punishment. It's a system stuck in overdrive, waiting for the right signal to slow down. Garlic, prepared correctly, can be one of those signals. But garlic alone isn't the whole picture, because the real power comes when you combine it with a simple daily rhythm, one that fits your life, your energy, and your body now. So now that you know how to activate garlic properly, now that you know what not to do, the next question is obvious. How do you turn this into a daily inflammation reset routine that actually works, without stress, without overwhelm, and without feeling like another chore? That's what we'll put together next. Imagine waking up with less stiffness. Your feet touch the floor, and instead of bracing for pain, you feel steadier. Your joints feel supported, not inflamed, not angry, just cooperative. You pause for a moment and think, this feels different. Because now, it is different. Over this journey, you've uncovered something important about your body, something no one really explained to you before. You challenged the turmeric myth. You realized inflammation after 60 isn't just wear and tear. You saw how immune confusion keeps the alarm ringing. And you learned garlic has a hidden rule, one that changes everything. Now comes the part that matters most, how you turn understanding into daily life. Here's the core truth to hold on to as you move forward. Your body isn't broken. It's over-inflamed and under-signaled. For years, your immune system has been stuck in overdrive, reacting to everything, protecting you too much. Pain wasn't the enemy, it was the message. And now, finally, you know how to answer it. Garlic, used correctly, becomes your daily signal to switch inflammation down, not aggressively, not forcefully, but clearly. It works because it speaks to your immune system at the communication level, not just pain perception. It tells those confused cells, you're safe. You can calm down now. So let's make this real, simple, livable. Picture your day. In the morning, you're moving slower. That's normal. You might hear your inner voice say, I'll deal with this later. But instead, you crush one clove of garlic. You let it sit. 10 minutes. You don't rush it. You make tea. You stretch your fingers. You breathe. That waiting time matters more than you think. Later, you add that garlic to food, a salad, yogurt, warm vegetables, not hot, just warm enough to welcome it. And then, this part is just as important. You move, not exercise that punishes you, just gentle movement. A walk down the street, circling your shoulders, letting blood flow where inflammation once camped out. Consistency is where the magic happens. One day doesn't fix years of immune confusion, but repetition teaches your body a new pattern. Here are the 3 anchors to remember. First, use crushed garlic daily and let it rest for 10 minutes. That's the activation step your body needs. Second, pair it with gentle movement. Circulation helps carry those calming signals where they're needed most. Third, be consistent. Inflammation doesn't calm overnight, but it does respond to steady input. Think of this as an investment in your joints so they keep carrying you. An investment in your muscles so they stay responsive. An investment in your heart and arteries so blood flows freely. An investment in your independence, the ability to get up, move, and live without fear of pain controlling your day. You might hear doubt creep in. What if this doesn't work for me? That voice is understandable. But here's a better question. What if it does? So here's your personal challenge. Try this routine for 7 days, just 7. Notice your mornings. Notice how long stiffness lasts. Notice your energy. Notice how your body responds to movement. Don't look for miracles. Look for signals. Small changes are still changes. And remember this, you are not powerless here. You have the ability to calm inflammation. You have the ability to rebuild comfort. You have the ability to work with your body, not against it. This isn't about fighting aging. It's about supporting yourself where you are now. Of course, be wise. Always consult your doctor before making dietary changes, especially if you take blood-thinning medication or manage chronic conditions. Your health deserves thoughtful care, and if this journey felt like it described your life, if these words echoed your mornings and your aches, then you're not alone. Share this with someone who's struggling silently. Like the video. Subscribe for more guidance like this, because your health journey matters. And it's never too late to support your body, starting today.